Hey everybody! It is Super Bowl Sunday, and I am not watching football and have no intention to. Hi Rose! This is gonna be just kind of an off-the-cuff yarn talk because my kids aren't home today. So yay, everything is quiet in the house, which is terribly unusual. Hi Anna, hi Brittany. I'm doing all right, Rose. Things are mostly good. They're good better than they're not good, so I guess considering the current state of things, really can't ask for more. Hi, Dawn. Doing all right. Just figured it would be easier to go live and have some interaction with people than to sit down and just record a video and talk to myself. Now I can pretend I'm not a total social shut-in, right? Oh, goodness. 8 people here already. That just doesn't take long at all, does it? I have not found another place yet. The way things are right now, I'm going to be in this house until the end of the school year so that things don't get really horribly disrupted for Hunter. Oh, that's no fun, Anna. Hi, Denisa. Hi, Rosangela. I'm sorry if I murdered that, but I tried to pronounce it as best I could. So, for anybody who's just tuning in, who's never been to my channel before, or somebody who's just new here, hello, I am Random Randy, and this is Yarn Talk, a knitting, crochet, and other yarny bits and bobs podcast guaranteed to give you your recommended dose of fiber arts in 60 minutes or less in a normal video, but we're live, so who knows how long we're going to be here. Honestly, the things that I have done will take maybe max of 20 minutes to show you, so if you're only here for the yarn stuff, just stick around until then, and then after that I'll probably just hang out and chat with people. And fun thing that's really weird and random, it has stopped now, but it was snowing here a few minutes ago. It has not snowed here at all this season. I live in Washington in the United States, and I was really super excited, so I can tell that I've lived outside of the snow belt for quite a long time now for me to be excited about that. Hi, Kelly. Doing all right. How are you? And it's saying that my stream strength is kind of doing one of these things, so if it's buffering really horribly, the chat seems to be moving at the proper speed, so just let me know and I'll wait a second. Hello, Yards of Yarn. So, to show the thing that I'm wearing so I can take this hood down, because unless I pin it to my head, this does not stand very well. This is my first finished object, and it's quite a big one. I finished this in 3 days' time. It is the Campfire Cardigan by Make and Do crew. And I'm just gonna stand up and show you here how ridiculously huge this thing is. So it is a crocheted duster style jacket. It's all made with different brown scraps. It's super duper long. I love it. I made the hood really kind of baggy and all with Red Heart Super Saver stripe and cafe latte, or latte stripes rather. Yeah, so that is the first one. Thank you, Renee. Hello, Crafty Grandma Rocks. I really, really like it. Hi, Jamie. I am normally not a neutral colors kind of person, especially browns, because being brunette as I am, I feel like I just kind of melt and disappear if I'm wearing brown. But just this warm brown and the different variations of color turned out really nice. But just to show you the colors that are in it, this part right here, the central part, which is where you start, it's actually made from granny hexagrams, or hexagons, not hexagrams. Joys of live television, everybody. Hexagon. This is shaded browns. This is a Hirschner's brown of some sort. I don't recall the shade because they don't really have them on the ball bands on their older ones. Hi, Stephanie. This here is a Big Twist Premium in Desert Tones. This single row here is Red Heart Super Saver Platoon. This is Premier Yarn Muir Woods in Chipmunk. This is another Hirschner's brown, and then I repeated some of the other ones through it. And the hood and the bottom portion are, like I said, Red Heart Super Saver stripes in latte stripe. It was a really quick make. It took me 3 evenings to make it, somewhere in that range, so I'm really super pleased with it. And I just went and made a chain that was about 140 chains, I think, and laced the center part just so it would stay on. I don't like it when a cardigan just keeps flopping open and falling off your shoulders. Not my favorite thing. Hi, Stitch House Creations. So that's my first thing that's done. God, my hair is just everything. Thank you, Denisa. It's really super easy. The pattern is so simple, and you make it with worsted weight yarn and a K-hook, so it goes super duper fast. The only reason it even took me a 3rd day is because I got watching the movie that was on TV instead of continuing to work like I should have been. Coffee. Alright, where to go next? This, I guess I will do next so I can get this away from everything else because it has wool in it. This is super duper bright, so hopefully it doesn't annihilate the color balance on the screen. This, let me see if I can move that. There we go. This is just a normal run-of-the-mill beanie. Just double crochet with a front post, back post double crochet brim and a pom-pom. This is made from some ice yarns that I got forever ago. It's the Sail Winter Yarn 48678. It's 36% wool, 52% acrylic, 12% polyamide. And if you can kind of see the colors there without me blocking it out, there's a lot going on in here. There's metallic thread over it. There's all these different bright colors. I really, really like it. And I bought 2 bags of it. And I've only just now opened the first bag, so maybe I'll be I might be putting the 1 full bag that I haven't touched yet up as de-stash in my shop, just because I have so much yarn. I'm only 32 and I feel like I'm already approaching Sable. And if you don't know what Sable, S-A-B-L-E is, that is Stash Accumulation Beyond Life Expectancy. Which means you got so much yarn, you could use yarn every day and not use it all before you're dead. So I need to downsize. That's why I'm working on so many things that are scrap busters. Kingdom Hearts Grafgan, that sounds cool. Especially if you're not under a time crunch to do it, because I've never done a Grafgan. I have plans to, but I feel like I'm gonna wait until I'm in a place that is not here to do so. Hi, Holly. Hi, Shirley. Yes, Brittany, feel better. Being sick is horrible, especially this time of year. Nobody wants to be sick this time of year. So, next thing I have done, good lord, do I not have any whips up here? Oh, I guess I just have the one. Alright, so next thing I have done, I have 2 of these. That looks a lot brighter than it actually is in person. Totally way brighter. So this is the thick and bumpy scrubby, I believe. Is that what the name of it is? Let me double check. Yes, thick and quick bumpy scrubby. And this is a really simple washcloth pattern. It's just single crochets and treble crochets alternating, so it makes it pop out. And this is actually a much darker navy blue color. Hello! So I have two of these, but this is a dark navy blue. It's actually made with two different strands of cotton, and they're held together and you work it with a J-hook. So trying to downsize my cotton stash too. So it is a Lily Sugar and Cream. That's totally not going to have even remotely close to the color that it is. But it's a denim colored blue. I'm not sure of the name because no ball band. And the other strand is Overcast Twists, which is white and a really light tan and black all marled together. I've got two of those. I have one more I'm going to be making for a friend who is going through some tough stuff right now, and I know that a lot of people do prayer shawls, healing shawls, things of that nature. I am not a Christian, but I am a spiritual person, and I do believe that when you think happy thoughts and healing thoughts, when you make something for somebody, it passes on some of that good energy to them when it is needed. And since this is for a man, I didn't really think that he would want a shawl. So I'm going to make him a set of 3 washcloths that he can either use in the shower or in his sink, whichever suits him more. So I've only got one more of these to make, and this is really seriously a quick, super quick pattern. Hi Maria, I am in the Fort Lewis region. Hi Karen. So I'm going to make a third one of these for him. So fast. Took me maybe half an hour, 45 minutes tops to make one of these, so I'm definitely going to be using this pattern a lot to get rid of a lot of my cotton stash because it's ridiculous. Next thing, I might end up making a few more of these, I'm not sure yet. Thank you, Holly. I super am in love with this. I have rarely taken it off since I made it. I'm gonna have to wash it soon. I've been wearing it so much. But it's nice to just throw it on over everything and go about doing housework. And I discovered a cool thing about the sleeves. I didn't do the tapered sleeve on it like it recommended in the pattern. This is just the same size from the top all the way down to the bottom. And I like that it looks kind of like a bell sleeve, like 70s style, without it actually dangling like some bell sleeves do. I like the peasant top look. I like bell sleeves. I don't like if I go to touch something and my sleeve drags through it. That's not fun for me. Hi Dana. It's totally fine to lurk. If you're working on something or if you're just relaxing, don't feel like you have to chitty chat a super lot. Oh, and I figure most of you will appreciate this, especially now that Holly and Claudia's Supernatural Cal is going on. This is my Supernatural mug that has adorable little chibi versions of the characters. Yes! And I'm drinking coffee. It's only 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I can still drink coffee. Hi, Amber. Didn't miss much. I was just showing off my cardigan, which you've seen it in the Facebook group and on Instagram, so yeah. I actually got that cup from Redbubble, which is where I have a few of my designs. My weight crochet sleigh stuff is over on that same site. It's all things that are art made by independent people, and they get little bitty commissions off whatever you buy with their designs on them. I have to quit drinking coffee at about 4 o'clock, or I just don't go to sleep. I just don't. Not that I sleep much anyway, but if I cut into my 4 to 5 hour block of sleep much, the next day is a total disaster. So I try to avoid that as much as possible. And I hope you guys can hear me okay, because I'm just using the laptop microphone. I didn't bother dragging down my giant Blue Yeti with the boom to stick over here, so hopefully you can all hear me okay. So the next thing that I have is a few kid-size hats. Billy over at the Crafty Floridian is taking donations for kid-size hats that will fit kindergarten and first graders. I believe she's calling the project something along the lines of Hats for Kids by YouTube crafters, so that anybody who loom knits, sews, crochets, knits, whatever, we're all invited to help. She's looking to get 60 hats total, and I have 3. I have more scrap balls of yarn about the same size that I might use to make a few more, just so I can get them gone. As far as I know, Anna, it is Holly, Yarn Journey Crochet, and Claudia from Crochet Luna, who are doing the Supernatural Cat. So the 3 hats that I have that are going to be sent on their way to Billy sooner rather than later are this one, and these are all just basic double crochet with a ribbed brim, because hat is my meditation and it is my happy place, because I don't even have to think about it. I can make a hat, in an adult size hat, in under an hour and not think twice. Oh my. So the light is totally blowing this out. Let me see if I can maybe make it a little bit better. Ooh, now you can see the raccoon circles under my eyes. Alright, so red is horrible and bad. Yes, it is for elementary kids, Amber. She's looking specifically for kindergarten and first grade sizes. She has a video talking about it with a link to approximate sizes. So, first kid hat, this is made with a wild cherry swirl sweet roll, and I don't know if I can get the red. Yeah, I can't get the red to show up like it actually would at all. So there's actually 3 different shades here. Turned out really nice, and it's so soft. I have so many sweet rolls and I've worked with so few of them that I'm always surprised when I touch them how squishy they are. There's one kid hat. I have another one that is made with Americana Super Saver. So it's the red and white, and then it's got the blue and white speckly effect. Yeah, I liked the way that with this one, the brim was the only part that was the separate color, so it looks like I did color work and I didn't. Thanks for stopping by. And this is actually a kid hat that I just found because I've been unearthing bags of many, many magical hidden things in all of the cleaning I've been doing lately. But I made this kid hat a long time ago, and it's the same size, so apparently my tension hasn't changed much. This is just a Red Heart Super Saver pink, maybe shocking pink, perhaps. And the pom-pom and the brim is bonbon print. I'm trying to go for mostly kind of gender-neutral-ish colors. Ugh. Fiber on my face. So, got these that will be for donating, and I might, like I said, I might do a few more. I'm not sure. Either way, I want to be sending them out sometime this week, maybe middle of the week. Hi, Julie, you made it! You didn't miss it this time! Seems like every time I do go live, you're always afterwards, oh no, I missed it! Ugh. Never fails. When you go live, you will get fiber stuck on your face. Doesn't matter, it always happens. Alright, other 2 things I have done. Set that over there. Other 2 things I have done, these are actually patterns that I'm still working on. Oh, and behind me you will see Mr. Nurgle is doing his thing, because that's my bed. My entire craft room setup and my sleeping quarters are now in the same room. Didn't think I could make it fit, and I have a very narrow walkway. I kind of feel like I live in an apartment in Tokyo with super teeny itty bitty living space, but Crafty Floridian Rose, yes, that is Billy that's doing this one. So if you head on over to her channel, she does have a video about it. I think maybe it was her 10th video, perhaps. But she has a video that's specifically just talking about it, but she has mentioned it in the last few videos that she's done as well. Right, so these are, like I said, patterns I'm working on. I've mostly got them perfected. I really just need to type them up. So you may have noticed a few podcasts ago I mentioned I was working on what I'm going to call the Bermuda Triangle collection. It's going to have messy bun hat, regular hat in bulky and worsted weight, and a cowl and gloves, because when your life is going totally insane, who doesn't overwhelm themselves with excessive amounts of work, right? Right. So this, let me turn that back up a little bit now that I don't have the red on the screen. Light. Let there be light. Yes, there we go. Ta-da! So this hat is the Bermuda Triangle Messy Bun hat. And everything is in reverse with this, so if I kind of flop things around until I get it in the frame, bear with me, guys. But this is done with triangle stitch, and it has a ribbed brim and obviously a hole in the top. This is actually made with Knit Picks Brava Bulky in the Hunter Green colorway, I believe. I have been deep stash diving to use up some of my oldest yarn, and this is among some of my oldest yarn from before I went totally crazy with all of the Red Heart and Hirschner's yarn. I made a few decent-ish size purchases from Knit Picks. I actually have a bunch of their Brava Bulky in gray that I was going to use to make myself a sweater with. I'm going to have to see if I still have enough to do that. Thank you, Denisa. Hi, Sonia. Yeah. So this is a pattern that I will definitely be adding soon. I don't know if I'm going to do videos for all of these because it's a lot of things, but I think what I'm going to do is I'll have a basic of each one available for free on my blog, and then if you want all of them in an ad-free PDF, I will have them available separately or as a collection for a slightly discounted price. Thank you, Crafty Grandma. So I have a quasi-photographic memory. It makes it a lot easier for me. That's why sometimes you'll see me just kind of close my eyes when the wheels are turning, because I'm trying to remember, like, I know I've seen this. Get back to that proper picture when you're scrolling through the gallery in your brain. So Bermuda Triangle stuff, I'm hoping, don't quote me on this because I'm not 100% sure yet, if I don't have all of that done by the end of, I was hoping to have all that ready for a Valentine's Day release or for my birthday. My birthday is February 18th. I don't think that's going to happen now. So if it doesn't come out this month, it will be out sometime in March. Maybe I'll do it for, I could do it for probably a St. Patrick's Day release, since it's got a lot of blues and greens in the yarns I'm using. Thank you, Karen. I really, really like this green. And it's acrylic, but it is so soft. It puts Michael's Charisma yarn, which is my second favorite bulky yarn, to shame. So young. I'm not young. I'm gonna be 33, Amber. I'm not young. Well, happy almost birthday, Denisa. This is probably going to be hard to see because the colors are so super bright, and I haven't gotten a chance to work up a second sample with a more neutral color, so you'll be able to see the stitches better yet. So apologies for the fact that this is going to totally blow off the balance of the camera here. This is another pattern that I came up with that possessed me one evening. And this, which I don't think you will honestly be able to see the pattern on it at all. Oh no, yeah. So I have this up on, I think I have a picture on Instagram, if you totally can't see it now. It's, oh, it's so bright. Good Lord. Back here by my face. Oh, you can almost see it here. Okay, so this is called the Toxic Love Beanie, which I will definitely be releasing before Valentine's Day because it's February and hearts and broken hearts are in ample supply this time of year. So it is just, for the most part, a basic beanie, and it has, where are my fingers? There are my fingers. Has a heart-shaped design done in baubles here, and this portion over in this direction, this way, backwards, this way. There, yeah, that part right there. Nope, that, yes, is a crossbone design. It's just made with bobble stitch. February 4th, Rose. Man, look at all the Aquarians up in here. No wonder we all get along so well. But yeah, this is... It came out looking excessively nuclear, in my opinion, with the Red Heart Super Saver. Is this neon stripes? I don't even remember what this is. Bright stripe, I think. But this is what's left. It uses, oh man, so bright. Yeesh. It used about half of a skein. I really liked it though. It was easy enough to do, and I have it charted and everything. But I feel like the patterning is kind of subtle with this horribly bright yarn. But I'm going to do it with just a solid color so you'll be able to see the stitches better. Hi Enid, welcome, welcome. Turning 8 this month. Yeah, my older son Hunter just turned 6 on the 25th. So this is a pattern that's going to be going up, probably tutorial, also in written version by the 14th for sure. 45, you know, I was just talking with my mom recently about this, that it seems like getting older isn't as old as it used to be. You know, my mom is almost 60 at this point, and looking at her and the way she acts, I wouldn't think she was a 60-year-old woman. I'm 30, gonna be 33, and I don't feel that old. I remember when my mom turned 30 when I was little, and I picked on her about it, and, you know, oh, you're so old, blah, blah, blah. I think I was like 8-ish at the time. And thinking about it, I feel like our grandmother's generation, once they hit a certain age, everybody had to chop their hair off and, you know, get the tint and the curls and dress a certain way. And now we just kind of continue to be ourselves as opposed to prescribing to looking our age. I had somebody ask me if I was 17 the other day, and I was like, oh, you're so sweet, marry me. No, seriously, marry me. Absolutely insane. So that hat, the Toxic Love hat, like I said, this pattern will be coming out soon. I actually have it in written form up on Patreon, but it is handwritten because I just transcribed it from my scratch notebook into my good notebook, and I scanned the pages. So if you can read my handwriting, the pattern is available over on Patreon for the people who are there. No makeup and hair in a ponytail. Yeah. Doesn't sound like a good time. So that is the last of my finished objects. And see, look, I'm at about half an hour and I'm just about done with all of my stuff, and then I'll hang out for maybe half an hour-ish after that to chat. I say that, but it'll probably be more like an hour to chat, because I know me, and we know me. So this is my only active work in progress at the moment. And it is my Hangetsu shawl that I unearthed before my last episode. And I got a few rows done on it. Is it facing the right direction? So if you can see where the pizza is, where's the pizza? Here in the middle. And the pizza is where I was last time I showed it to you guys. I have the link to my Patreon right in the video description, I believe. It should be there somewhere. Yep, it should be there right after my little chat blurb I always do about Yarn Talk and the Mom Cave and fibery goodness. So this is what the Hangetsu is looking like at current. I am halfway through another repeat. I've got probably at least one more repeat to do before I'll say it's at least big enough. And I'm making this with Lion Brand Cupcake in the Sunny Day colorway. I really, really like the colors in this. A warthog, that sounds pretty cool. I like unusual amigurumi, it's kind of my thing. But I mean, just look at the colors in the yellow part. I love the way that with the cupcake, it's got a speckly portion in between. It doesn't just go straight from one stripe to another. I think I've got 3 more cakes of this, and I might have to make myself a cardigan with it. Really, really, really like it. It's just so vibrant, and you know me, I like red. The weather is being highly atypical right now, Julie. It is actually snowing again right now, looking out my window. It is very strange. It was super cold today. It hasn't really been this cold. Our average temperature doesn't usually get below about 35-ish at night, and it's usually 50-ish or higher during the day here, even though it's January, so it's really weird that we're getting snow right now. Your C2C scarf got a compliment in the wild. Yay! I really liked that sweet roll. I'm glad you made something with it. I really liked the way it turned out. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, that is the, just to double check, make sure I got the right one. Yep, Sunny Day colorway, which I know you won't be able to read because glare, light, plastic. Heat wave at 45. I'll bet that felt really weird after how crazy cold it was there for you guys a couple days ago, Amber. That's insane. Well, I'll bet she misses Texas. The sun came out here, though, the past 2 days, which is also highly atypical for January. It's always nice when people compliment the stuff that you make, especially random people out in public. It keeps going back and forth between raining and really thick clumps of snow. It's very strange. So the only other thing that I have is a couple of bags. I have been absolute garbage at sewing for the past 2 weeks, and I have so many things I need to sew. I want to get all my heart and Valentine's prints cut and sewn so I can have them in my shop, because seasonal appropriateness sells more units. We all know that. But I was sitting on this print for a while and really, really wanted to get it made up because I love it. It has my 3 favorite early Disney movies on it. And if you can see, it has Cinderella, Snow White, and Sleeping Beauty on it. And they're the old style movie posters, which I super duper love. And this one has a different interior than the other 2 do. But it's still bluish. This is kind of a floral, almost teal color inside. But all my bags have boxed bottoms, double drawstrings, and they have a wrist strap, which is good for either putting it on your arm or for hanging it up in your closet or on something. So that's one, and I have 2 that have this other interior, which is more of a vibrant blue and white floral. Yes. I really like it because this is my 3 favorite Disney movies. Hi, Wanda. Welcome, welcome. 41 people. I don't think I've ever had this many people at a live before. I watch your videos. I don't always comment. I feel bad when I don't comment on people's videos, but sometimes I'll just put it on while I'm doing dishes. And, you know, when you're elbow deep in the sink, you can't stop and type on the screen on your phone. But I do watch. Aw, thank you, Julie. Oh, so that is all the stuff that I've got done for now. I have also been working on the next knitted strip for the blanket that's back there. If you can see, I have a giant Lumpo black cat sitting on top of the Bernat blanket big video. Bernat blanket big Afghan that I knitted. Hi, Shalene. Yeah, I haven't been looking directly at the chat, so I feel like I'm missing people. Give me a second here. Oh, no, there we go. 42 people. Yeah, I've noticed from having a soda occasionally that something about the delivery system with the wonderful high fructose corn syrup makes the caffeine hit me about 10 times harder, and I drink a lot of coffee. So to get totally shaky jittery from having a soda as opposed to the 3 cups of coffee that usually have me even keeled, it's very strange, and it definitely is different, and I don't like it. I don't like being jittery. I like being alert, not having my heart race and my face flush and feel like I'm having a heart attack. Ugh. See, I don't like the flavor of any colas at all, so I couldn't do that. No, no good. So if anybody was here just for the crafty portion of the video, it's all done now, and you can either scrub and rewind back to the beginning of the video or wait until it comes up on the replay. Once we're all done chatting, everything will upload sometime by the end of the day, depending upon how good or bad the internet connection is. Oh, you said pop instead of soda. Regional differences in dialect. Ugh. Although, to be fair, where I came from in New York, we all said soda, but if you went a few hours south to Rochester, everybody called it pop, so. I honestly haven't really been looking very much yet, Wanda. I'm just more concerned with amassing funds at the moment. Hi, Chrissy. Don't worry, I'm going to be here to chat still for a little bit, so if you want, you can either rewind to the beginning or wait until we're done chatting and then go check out CraftyKnits. See, I grew up so close to Canada that I may as well have been Canadian. You live in the soda region now. It's one of those things where you understand what they're talking about, so I really don't understand why people get in such a snit about it. I have not gotten my GoFundMe set up yet. So, just to talk about it a little bit briefly without really delving too deeply into it, if anybody doesn't know, I am in the middle of a separation from my soon-to-be ex-husband, and he is going to not be present for a while because Army, and I'll leave it at that. But the boys and I are definitely going to be in this dwelling until the end of the school year, and after that, I'm not quite sure what's going on. So right now, I'm mostly just trying to de-stash, sell everything that I've made, sell anything I own that I don't think I will need in my life in the next few years. We do not really debate here. We don't really talk about politics or religion aside from brief mentions. So no. Thank you for dropping in, though. But with everything going on, I'm gonna wait. I'll wait until something horrible occurs and then I will. I'm not worried about it for the moment. I feel like I'm doing pretty okay. I am mostly just trying to stay busy, trying really not to think about things too terribly much. Adam's sister is actually visiting right now, and she is hanging out with the boys. With Adam, they went to the zoo today. So, hopefully they're being careful on the road. People here don't know how to drive when it snows. The Plain Defiant Zoo is about 45 minutes from here. It's not too terribly far, but when there's no plows, it makes the roads really dangerous when they're full of people who don't know what they're doing. The boys are doing all right. Killian is very much a 4-year-old at this point, and he is very, very strong-willed. I keep telling myself, don't squash that determination, because strong-willed children make good leaders someday. Which is difficult when they're exerting their will on you. And Hunter just received an award at school that we actually went in to watch him receive it, and they call it a Brain Award, and it's for academic achievement. For him, it was that he's one of the strongest readers in his class, and he knows sight words. I'm like, well, that's cool and all, but he doesn't just know sight words, he knows phonics, so he can read just about any word you put in front of him, give or take a few weird pronunciation things that are common to the English language, which makes it so horrible for people to learn, honestly. Frogs, have fun with that, Shalene. I would like to record my novels in audiobook form, but that means that I would have to do it over quite a long distance of time to have quiet enough to record it, and then all the editing and uploading. It's something that I do have planned, but I don't know if it's something I will be able to get done anytime soon. And I have been writing again here and there, not super consistently, but any writing is better than no writing. I wish that I could do like Jack London and just write 1,000 words a day no matter what, because even if you have to scrub 500 of those words because they're garbage, that's still 500 words you didn't have. Yeah, I'm glad that I taught Hunter phonics initially. And we still do phonics drills here and there. Not as much as we did, but I mean, they give him a packet of homework every week to do, and it's essentially just one sheet per day. But we usually sit down either sometime in the middle of the week or one of the weekend days and do the whole thing in less than an hour. Because when we were still homeschooling, we would do at least 10 worksheets every morning. So initially he was like, homework's horrible, homework's stupid, I don't want to do it, blah, 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 because, you know, 6-year-old attitude. And after I explained to him, well, Hunter, we used to do more than this every morning, he was like, oh, well, that's not so bad then. I was homeschooling, but Adam insisted that Hunter needed to be back in public school. So, to not further disrupt him after me speaking to an attorney, I said that I would agree that Hunter could be in school until the end of this year, as long as I get to stay in this house, so he doesn't have to be bounced back and forth and have to deal with all of that nonsense. And now Adam's not even going to be here. So, yes, even after that incident. And that little girl is still in his class. Super duper fun. Yes, anybody new popping in, don't forget to smash that like button. I would say, or I'll smash you, but that sounds more like something that should be on my horror channel, not here. But long story short, I have things working. I'm working towards things that will make it so that hopefully at the end of the school year, Hunter and I will be able to decide whether he wants to go back to public school in the fall or not. That's the plan. We'll see. Because I know a lot of people think that a 5 or 6-year-old shouldn't be able to make that decision. But I know how he is, and if he's not getting any educational or social benefit from being there, if all he's doing is complaining about not wanting to do the work because it's boring, I don't know. I don't think that skipping a grade will really help him. Primarily because his peers will not quite be on the same level as him emotionally. Hunter's a really sensitive kid. Very, very sensitive. And I don't think that putting him with older kids who are more desensitized would be good for him. He was really enjoying getting to go to the homeschool group, which I'm honestly kind of pissed about that we can't do now. I mean, I could take Killian, but Killian is socially below other kids his age. He's kind of at the phase where he likes to be around other kids, but he doesn't really interact with them very much just yet. And Hunter was having a lot of fun getting to go to those, and now we can't do that. So, yeah. Or do any of the other fun things that we got to do during the day instead of having to scramble and run by the clock and everybody panic because Killian decided he didn't want to walk down to school, so I had to almost hog tie him to get his socks and his shoes and his coat on, and then I have to carry my 50-pound child who's thrashing and freaking out like he's dying a quarter of a mile down the road so I can take my 6-year-old to school. Oh, he didn't want me to get to stay, Enid. I discovered that there were some fun things in the paperwork that would have greatly limited my rights as a parent, which, with me being their primary caregiver since they were born, I was like, oh no, that is not going to happen. So I spent every single penny that I had, every single penny that I had for an attorney. There we go. You are the weakest link, Jason Odafona. Goodbye. Yeah, there are so many options for homeschool now, and it doesn't have to be like this quiet, cloistered, ultra-religious thing that people have always assumed it is. And it's just teaching your kids at home. That's all it is. Instead of making them sit in a classroom all day where they have to be at voice level 0 and have to walk silently down the hallway in a line like good little robots. It's just, ugh, it bothers me so much. If public school works for you, your kids and your family, fantastic. I don't think it is the most effective method for my children or me. But we're dealing with it for now, and I'm making the most of it until the end of the year. I'm trying to make it as enjoyable for Hunter as I can. I'm making sure that when they send home things for like, oh, we're having a popcorn day at school, I make sure Hunter has the pennies that he needs to be able to have a bag of popcorn with his classmates, and make sure that he had cupcakes to take into school so that he could have a birthday classroom party because there wasn't school on the day of his birthday, and he was really excited about getting to do that. So even though I am not for it, I am trying to make the best of it and make sure he does enjoy it enough that hopefully we can get through to the end of the school year without too many issues. Oh yeah, there's a lady in the office who does not like me at all. And that's fine, because I dislike her just as strongly. She's one of those people that when she speaks, she's very condescending. She's the type of older middle-aged woman who would call a woman less than 10 years her junior, hun, in a way that just makes you want to go, ugh! Maybe that's just me. Me personally having issues with authority figures, but I don't feel that someone in a clerical position in an office is necessarily my senior or my better, even if they are older than me. If they do have any field trips, I would like to be involved in that. I would volunteer to chaperone. It's different, Wanda. Like, you know, there's speaking to someone in a friendly way, calling them hun, and there's calling them hun that says that you are above them somehow. Like, you're just talking down to somebody. I don't do that. Like, don't patronize me. I will end you. Do not patronize me. Have a good night, Shirley. Hello, Lou's Diary. And yes, it is very much the tone and the context. And I called because Hunter had a dental appointment, and I wanted to make sure that, you know, everything was going to be good. So I called to say, Hunter has a dental appointment, so he will be late this morning. She was like, okay, I'll make sure it's written down, and hung up the phone. No goodbye, no, is there anything else I can help you with? None of that. So I called back, and I'm like, hey, hi there, don't hang up the phone. I need to know when the kindergartners have lunch, so that I know if I need to get lunch for Hunter before I bring him back or not. And she was like, oh, and then told me what time lunch was. And hung up again without saying goodbye. I just wanted to run the quarter mile up the road and go throw something at her. But I didn't. I didn't. Well, that's good, Enid. It seems like their principal is a pretty cool lady. And I feel like I accidentally intimidated their guidance counselor because I feel like I can be a pretty intimidating person without really trying too terribly hard. Oops. Yeah, it's not snowing at the moment, but it keeps snowing off and on. I do not temper my temper for people very often. Oh my goodness. Why do people think that they can talk to other people like that? I just don't understand it. Yeah, that would have been really scary. I feel like most of the time my expression tends to ward off most people's urges to not be pleasant to me. That RBF rockin' steady here without even really trying. I always love when people who actually have a conversation with me for the first time, most of the time they're like, oh, you're so conversationally put together. I thought you'd be really unfriendly. Like, sorry, my face makes me look like a horrible person. Whatever. Oh, you're super tall. That was dumb of him. Good. Don't mess with tall women. We will step on you. Full stop. The end. Hi, Dee. I don't think you have RBF, Amber. I think that you look super friendly. And you have a really nice smile, too. Not gonna lie. Your smile is infectious. Yeah, when I walk down to take Hunter to school and I'm wearing my black leather jacket and my boots, I guess I look quite intimidating without really trying. Your height and the way that you carry yourself can make a big difference. You can be 5 feet tall and put on like you're 6 feet tall, and if you have the right attitude, that's all it takes. Oh, I got mine from my mom too, Enid, and my mom's only 5 feet tall. My mother, I love my mother to death, but I would never mess with my mom. And I'm 8 inches taller than she is and outweigh her by at least 70 pounds, but I wouldn't mess with my mom. Ever. I remember when I was a kid and another kid attacked me. He had punched me in the stomach. And my mom went up to this child and threatened him right back and put him in his place. And you know what? I never had a problem with that kid again. And he actually turned out to be a pretty decent, mature, put-together adult. So I guess that people being rotten turds as children can turn out not quite so bad. Hi, Dawn. Yeah, I know it was snowing. It's so crazy. We haven't had snow at all here for the whole season, and it's snowed off and on probably 3 or 4 times just since I've been live. It's crazy. A lot of people type stuff all at once. Aw, Amber, it's okay to not have the mean mommy look. It's okay. Ooh. Oh, goodness. That's very true. You shouldn't start a fight that you don't have any intentions to finish. Oh, wow. Yeah, I remember last year there was a little bit of snow, but not much. I'm from New York, where right now they've been getting anywhere between 8 and 12 inches of snow a day. So it's, yeah. When you get 2 inches of snow here and they black out the roads and they're like, nobody can drive anywhere, I laugh. That sounds like a very happy accident to me. Yeah, no, they told us that when I was in school too. They were like, oh, if somebody is attacking you, don't fight back. I was like, what? No, unacceptable. I've had to tell Hunter now, I'm like, listen, I don't ever want to hear that you started a fight. If somebody else starts a fight with you, you are within your rights, in my opinion as a parent, to finish said fight. The end. And if the school has a problem with it, they can talk to me. Because in my school, if you were the person being attacked and you didn't fight back, you would get suspended from school just as long as the kids who were kicking the ever-loving snot out of you. So, once I discovered that, I'm like, well then, bring it on. Now that I know I can fight back, because I'm going to get in trouble either way, why would I just sit there and let you abuse me? No. Bye, Wanda. Have a good night. It's always scary when snow starts to melt this time of year because I'm always afraid that it's going to get cold again and it's going to freeze and then everything is going to be covered in a layer of ice, and that's just... And because Hunter is such a big kid, we have recently, because of something we saw on our walk home from school, had to talk about, you are bigger than most kids your age. Because of that, if you see someone being bullied, I am okay with you stepping in to protect somebody. I would love it if you would step in to protect somebody. But there are provisions to that. Primarily, if there's like 10 people being a jerk, go get a grown-up. I don't care what's happening, get an adult. You aren't ratting it out. You aren't ratting anybody out if you are protecting someone from getting hurt by telling a grown-up what's going on. Like, however, here's the thing about bullies that you need to know, Hunter. Bullies tend to run in packs of 3 or more because they're kind of like wild dogs. On their own, when there's just one of them, they're not very strong. But when you get a pack of them, they get really brave and they think that they're strong. So, if you can separate them and help get somebody away from a dangerous situation, especially with how fast he is. He is a very quick runner. ID, then the best thing to do is to step in and protect that person, as long as you can do it without getting yourself majorly injured. We were walking home from school one day, and there was a little girl who had 3 boys her age pick her up under the arms and took her backpack away from her, and they were walking away with her. And seeing that really, really upset Hunter a lot. He was almost in tears about it when I mentioned it to Adam after he got home that day. So he's a really sensitive kid and doesn't deal well with things like that. But Hunter is also my child, and being as emotionally sensitive as he is, I could see him being hot-headed and charging in the heat of the moment, purely on the principle of wanting to protect someone and keeping them from getting hurt and getting severely injured himself. So I'm like, okay, we got to set up some ground rules for this. And honestly, as soon as possible, I would like to get him into a martial arts class, because I think it would be good for him from a discipline standpoint and from a burning off crazy energy standpoint. Give him a little bit of character development. We have been on here for almost an hour now, so I am going to end the stream in a few minutes. We'll say 3 to 5 minutes. That way everybody can go on about their day, and if anybody is going to be watching the Super Bowl, you'll be able to get ready for that, although I feel like most of the people here probably aren't about that. Hunter actually really likes the MMA workouts that I have. Whenever I pull up my list of workouts on the TV to do, he's like, "Mommy, do the punching one." Which is core de force. A lot of it's on your feet, but some of it is like grappling and ground stuff, and that's his favorite thing right now. But he's also obsessed with Star Wars, so yeah. If you want to get into sword fighting, it's gonna take time. You've got to learn the other basics first. See, when we had cable television, instead of watching the Super Bowl, I would put it on Animal Planet and watch the Puppy Bowl, which is, you know, just a bunch of cute little puppies running around on a fake football field, and that is adorable. Hi, Karen. I will do my best. I'm trying to keep us all together and in one piece. Hi, Alicia. See, I was just talking about the Super Bowl. I have no intention to watch it, but I figure that some people would be. Hi, Sue. I have not seen Body Groove. I have the yearly membership thing to the Beachbody On Demand workouts, so I have, you know, T25, Turbo Jam, Core de Force, what is it, 21 Total Body Fix, or whatever that one is. I don't really like Autumn Calabrese as a trainer, so I don't do any of her workouts personally, but yeah. I'm all about the kickboxing and the capoeira and all that fun stuff. Those are my happy places. And speaking of that, I am down to 172 pounds right now, which is pretty awesome. I am at current 22 pounds away from my goal weight, which is 150 pounds, which is the weight that I was when I found out I was pregnant with Hunter. So I got a ways to go, but I've lost 40 pounds since having Killian, so slow work in progress, but I'm keeping it off. My kids are just starting to ask about things like Goosebumps, which I have a whole bunch of, but I don't think they're quite ready yet. Hunter maybe, Killian not quite so much yet. working on it. I don't feel like my hips will ever shrink back down enough to be a size 5 ever again in my life, but who knows? Oh, sleeping baby. Yeah, Killian was not happy this morning when they were getting ready to leave the house. I think he probably will have napped on the way to the zoo and will probably nap on the way home from the zoo. He was having a pretty big grump attack going on. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Killian is obsessed with Ben 10 right now. Ben 10 and occasionally Paw Patrol. And most random thing ever, Bendy and the Ink Machine. If you don't know what Bendy and the Ink Machine is, it's a video game. It's kind of a spooky video game. Not super scary, and it's all in sepia tone, so it's not gory, but it's just a very weird thing for him to fixate on. He saw a music video that was a fan-made music video for the game, and it's done in the electro swing genre style of music, which is really cool, I'll admit, but he has just been all about that, to the extent that now I'm gonna be trying to come up with a pattern to make the little character Bendy, who has like a heart-shaped head almost. He's supposed to look like a cute little devil, kind of blended with Mickey Mouse. It's a thing. He's so into it right now. I know Trucks was Hunter's thing for the first 2 seasons, but his interests come and go really quick. Killian finds something and fixates on it forever, but for Hunter, it's, well, this was cool for like a month, and now I need something else. It's weird to have the house be quiet and not be full of kid noises. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what to work on next. I think I'm gonna do the 3rd one of these. And I've been doing somewhere between 2 and 4 rows on my Hangetsu shawl every day, so in probably a weekish I'll have it completely done. We tried to watch Supercharged and they just weren't as into it. I don't know why. I thought it was cooler. I preferred some of the characters into it to some of the original characters, honestly. Like, what were they? The Autos? The ones that all looked like wrenches and had the kind of Germanic accents. Hi, Danny. The cardigan that I'm wearing, did I not link it in the video description? I must not have linked it because I'm a dummy. So once I'm done talking, I will put it in the description here. It's called the Campfire Cardigan, and it's by Make and Do Crew. It's a free pattern. It's super duper easy. And I think I found it, I can't remember if I had seen somebody else do it or if it was something that I just found on Pinterest, because I pretty much live on Pinterest. I'm a Pinterest junkie. Hi, Lynn. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that I don't have to worry about Killian starting kindergarten. I guess that we will find out after the end of this school year what's going down. And yes, this is the one that I showed on my Instagram. I just did, I think I chained 140 and then I just laced it back and forth here in the front just to hold it on because I don't like it flopping everywhere. I talk with my hands a lot. Have you guys noticed that? When I'm recording, it's not as bad, but when I'm live, it is. I'm doing it right now. Now that I'm noticing it, I'm like, no, put your hands down. Yeah, they don't do half-day kindergarten here. I assumed that they would, but I don't think they even do half-day preschool here. I have never done a mermaid tail. I don't know if I would bother making one because I wouldn't use it and nobody in my house would, and attempting to ship them anywhere would be a major pain in the keister because they're so heavy. German in my family? No, not that I know of. All of my blood is primarily in the Saxon and Celt region of Europe. A little bit of French, but French-Canadian French, so I don't think that really counts as French. $300 a month for kindergarten. Wow. And there are different size options too in the pattern, and the way that the pattern is written, you can actually tailor it better to fit someone. Like, for instance, if you're not like me and you actually have sizable chest, which I do not, I'm barely a B and I'm going to be 33, so these things aren't going to be getting any bigger anytime soon. But if you are more busty, it has instructions on how to join it together in the back with a few extra rows, so it'll be wider to fit around this portion of your chest. It's really well written, I thought, and very simple. If you know basic granny stitch at all, it's really just initially getting your count in the center right and going from there. Yeah, usually as far as people who talk with their hands, I always hear people mention Italians, and it's like, I know for a fact there's no Italian anywhere in my lineage on either side. There's Irish and Scottish and Saxon English and French Canadian and itty bitty teeny tiny little way far back drop of Native American, and that's about it. That's me. Yeah, I'm probably going to be doing another campfire cardigan with another color palette. I'm trying to decide on which base color I'm going to do. I'm thinking I might do a red or a blue. Essentially, I just want to use up the not scrap sized balls of yarn I have, but, you know, half skeins like this. Because I have so many random ones that they're big enough to do maybe one hat, but they're not really big enough for anything else. But if you combine them together, you can make something that looks really neat like this. So it'd just be a matter of sitting down with a big old pile of scraps and putting them together, putting them in the order I want, and going from that. No, this isn't from a cake. This is actually from a whole bunch of different types of yarn. This one in the middle that you probably can't see, but this middle portion is Red Heart Super Saver Shaded Browns. This is a Hirschner's and kind of a lighter oatmeal brown. Big Twist Premium, Desert Tones, Muirwoods, Punk, and this is another Hirschner's solid right here. This one right here, hi Gypsy. Yeah, this is Day Glow? Yeah, this is Red Heart Super Saver Day Glow. Thank you, Lynn. Yeah, I was really surprisingly pleased with it. I didn't expect it to turn out as good as it did. As I was putting it together, I was like, wow, that looks really nice. Like I said, I'm a brunette, so I figured wearing something that's mostly brown, I was just going to kind of camouflage into it and disappear, but there's enough tonal differences that I think it worked out well. Yeah, I don't know, Enid. I agree that is really annoying. There are some colors of Red Heart Super Saver that I notice they only carry at Michael's. And I don't really go to Michael's for yarn because our Michael's has next to nothing. They have literally an aisle and a half of yarn, and that is pretty much it. Our Joann's is pretty good, but the only place I found that I can get every color of Red Heart is online, and I usually get it through Hirschner's if it's one of the ones that I can't find in the store. Yeah, I've seen a few cakes that I really like the colors in them, but then I look at the different shades in them and I'm like, you know, I've got scraps at home. I could make that happen. Carmichael's is really, really low on yarn. It's very strange. But then they have excessive quantities of painting stuff and framing stuff, and you never see anyone in those sections. So I don't understand. I don't know. But I'm not the person who runs the franchise or stocks the shelves, so. Yeah, the only time I buy yarn from Michael's is when it's on sale. Like, I'll buy their Impeccable when it's 2 for $5, or their Charisma when it's 2 skeins for $5, and that's about it. Beyond that, no. Not worth it. That's like sometimes I see people who will do a haul from Joann's and they're like, oh, this Red Heart Super Saver was only like $2.99 a skein, and I'm like, $2.99 a skein is pretty much the regular price for Red Heart at my Joann's. That's odd. I don't usually buy Red Heart in the store unless it's $2.25 or less. Yes, so many fake flowers. I feel the same way about Hobby Lobby. I'm, not to get too political, but I'm kind of morally opposed to shopping at Hobby Lobby anyway for reasons. And if anybody does, that's cool, that's fine. You're welcome to that. That's just not for me. But our Hobby Lobby has an aisle and a half of yarn and a very small section of fabric, and pretty much everything else is wrapping paper, plastic flowers, and dust collectors. It's all weird decorative stuff. And I'm like, but you don't have the supplies to make those decorative things. Have a good night, Crafty Grandma. Hi, Lisa. Yeah, that's what I hear. And I also think it's strange that your normal yarn in the UK, most of it is DK weight. Because for us, I think that's why everybody went so nuts for mandala. Because we don't really get those in-between yarns that aren't quite fine yarn, but they're not bulky yarn either. I mean, I don't know if I have any I can reach. I don't think I do at the moment. Yeah, but I mean, DK weight yarn is this. This is the cupcake, and this is a worsted weight yarn. And as you can see, they're not quite the same. Worsted weight is slightly thicker, but it's just DK weight isn't typical. It's just recently become a thing that we could even obtain at a big box store. Yeah, I've seen that some people's Aldi over in the UK has yarn, but not all of them do, so I don't know if maybe that's kind of a personal choice of whoever runs the store, whether they carry it or not, or if they're testing it in different areas now. Yeah, from my understanding of yarn weights, our worsted weight is ever so slightly thinner than an Aran weight yarn. Aran weight is almost like a 4.5 for us, because you've got bulky yarn and you have worsted weight, but Aran is slightly thicker. Yeah, I don't think they carry yarn in the Aldi stores in the States, just in the UK. We don't even have them over here, which is horrible because I love shopping at Aldi. We had some back over on the East Coast. There was an Aldi, there's actually one back near my hometown in New York. There's one in Watertown, and there was one near us when we lived in Maryland. But there's nothing like that over here. The house is so quiet when the heater stops running. So crazy. Bulky yarn can be nice. And I looked into those bags of 3 skeins of bulky weight yarn for $4 from Michael's not too long ago, which was nice. Have a good night, Alicia. Have fun with your Super Bowl party. I don't even know who's playing, but I hope that whatever team you're rooting for is the one that wins. I know there's going to be fireworks here when it's all done, because that is always a thing, which is so weird to me. It's the Super Bowl. It's not the 4th of July. Put the fireworks away, guys. Come on. Well, I said I was going to go, like, half an hour ago, guys. So, oh, Rams and the Patriots. Yeah, Adam will be rooting for the Patriots, even though we won't be watching it. They're from his area. I keep saying that the health of the stream is junk, and then it doesn't seem like it's skipping, so I know what's going on. But I am going to bring this stream to a close, as it has been longer than an hour now. So I hope that everybody has an awesome rest of their weekend. I hope you have a good week. I should be having another video come out sometime in the middle of the week. Just a crochet, craft, and chat with me type deal, and possibly a tutorial sometime in the next week or two. So thank you so much, everybody, for dropping in. I appreciate all the likes, and like I said, anybody who came late to the party, once this uploads, you can go back to the beginning and see the actual crafty stuff, which was done in about the first half hour of the video. So yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for the happy thoughts and prayers and all of the other good energy sent my way, because this time of year, everybody needs a little bit of happy since there's no sunshine. So take care, and I will catch you guys all in the next video. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Bye.